talks on 3D, isn't it? We got a 3. Oh, we haven't got a 3D. Oh, well, I can see Rod and I can see Ken. I can see Julie. And there's Lenore and Sue, looking fabulous in red and blue. Now, have you ever tried to see something normal? Well, you know, it's not 3D with 3D glasses. Doesn't work. So we might just put these away, because that's not the 3D that I want to talk to you about tonight. What I want to talk to you about tonight is what I think are the 3Ds of success. 3Ds of people, successful people, 3Ds of successful businesses. So would you be interested in finding out what they are? Yes. Good. All right. Well, I'll tell you that a little bit later. One of my great quotes is, the great aim of education is not knowledge but action. And so I'll invite you later on to take some action, and we'll see if you've been listening. Okay, so what I want to do is also to go through and take you on this little journey, and we'll be looking at two people, if you like. And there's a successful person and there's a not so successful person. And it's my wish for you that you're in this category, in the successful people category. So we're going to look at what makes a difference. Okay, what are these 3Ds that successful people and successful businesses do? So the first D, if you like, is they make decisions. George Patton said, a test of a good leader is that they will be willing to make decisions. The second key is that they're willing to have the difficult conversations. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And then the third point is that they do what it takes. And we'll talk a little bit about that. So I didn't always have the ability to make a decision. When I was growing up, my parents owned a taxi, and so they were self-employed. And my mother used to get up in the morning at 5 o'clock, and my father would still be snoring, and so would I. And she would go out into the morning, and she would work until about midday. And then she would swap over with my father, and then he would work until about 8 o'clock. And so I grew up with my father sort of getting me off to school and, you know, polishing the shoes, and I had the best tie, and away we went. And so, you know, he used to look after me. He was like an original Mr. Mum, if you like. And, you know, because that was a long time ago. They didn't really do that in those days, but he used to make my lunch. Anyway, his advice to me, having been in small business for himself, was get a good job in the government, love. Right. And I'd always wanted to be a teacher, and so they made me go on to year 12, because you had to get a good education as well, because they didn't. You know, they left school at 13 and 14. And so get a good education and get a good job in the government. And so here I was, I went to year 12, and I got a good job in the government, and I got a job in the motor registry. And it was up at Raymond Terrace, and I can remember I had my little Datsun 1200 with the gears, you know, and when I first started at 17 it was pick a gear, any gear, and oh God, I hope we get around that corner, oh God, and the lights are turning red, no, and around we'd go, and I got myself to Raymond Terrace and back. So I had my good job in the government, and I had that for the longest time I've had any job in my life, and that was 7 years. And there was nowhere to go. You know, I was a clerk typist, and unless I killed someone, I wasn't going to get anywhere. It was promotion by seniority, that wasn't promotion by merit. So anyway, I followed my dream, and at the age of 24 I left and I went to Teachers College, and I did become a teacher, and I did that for 6 months. Thought, well, that was a good use of 4 years, wasn't it? So I loved the kids, but I didn't fit into the school. You know, I didn't really care if you had nail polish on. I didn't care if you had your hat on backwards. It didn't really bother me. And I also had worked behind the bar, so I'd seen a little bit of life. You know, I'd seen the old, get the lighter and stand at the bar and watch the flames come out trick, and you know, a few other tricks. For some of you who, yeah, I won't tell you what that means, but some of you know. So I'd seen all of these things, so I didn't really care. And after 6 months I thought, I can't do this. This is not for me. So anyway, I continued on with this career in the government, and I went from government job to government job. And then in the year 2000, we moved back to Newcastle, and I got a job in private enterprise. And that's when I learnt about decision making and about responsibility. And I can remember being called into the boss's office, and his great big man, tall up here, great big stomach out like this, really, really big presence. So, Shirley, when you come into my office, please. Yes. And I walk into his office, and he said, I want you to lose that piece of paper. And I'm looking, I haven't got a piece of paper. He said, yes, you do. He said, that one that you cover your, it's called a CYA. I'm not allowed to swear when I'm talking, so you'll have to get it. I said, I don't have a piece of paper. He said, yes, you do. He said, you're not in the government now. He said, I want you to stand up, I want you to make decisions, stand by that, take responsibility, and lose that damn piece of paper. He said, because you do not have to cover it around here. Right, got that lesson. And it's true. Successful people make decisions. And this person walked his talk. And so it was a family business. And so they weren't scared to make a decision. They'd have a go. And then they'd make a decision, and then they'd go, oh God, that didn't work, did it? And so up to the boardroom they'd go. And the boardroom was sort of up the stairs just from my office. So I could sort of hear, you know, not that I was really listening. And you'd hear biff, bam, biff, 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 and biff again. And 45 minutes, they'd all come down smiling, la-di-da-di-da, okay, well, we've worked it out and this is what we're doing now. And we would get into action. And I learnt, you make a decision, you evaluate it, and if that's not the right decision, then you make another decision and you change. And I saw this happen. You know, and it was like they had this big, big business. And I won't say it was the Titanic because it's still going. So it was like the Queen Victoria. And, you know, and they would turn it around in 45 minutes. So they learnt to make a decision. Now, Jim Rohn, I don't know if you're familiar with him, he's a great, he's passed away just recently, a great motivational speaker, one of the originals. And he said, every now and again, it doesn't matter which side of the fence you get off, but you actually have to get off, and you have to make a decision to make progress. Okay. So, is there anybody in the audience who thinks that they make good decisions? They can make decisions. Sue, you're the only one with your hand up. Okay, so there's a couple of people who think that they can make decisions. All right. Well, Sue, seeing as how yours was the first hand up, would you come out the front, please? I need a volunteer. So we're going to have a little demonstration about decision making. Okay, so let's come out the front. All right. Okay.
I am with her.
It's all right. Okay. So you and I have been on a journey together, you know, and if you look around there, look at all those wonderful places we've been.
Yeah.
And now we've come up and there is a fork in the road, and we can only go left or we can go right. And I'm inviting you to make a decision and tell us which way we're going to go.
Okay.
All right?
So what's on the either side of them? What's on the other side of the road?
Well, sometimes we don't know what's on either side. We've only got the information in front of us. So sometimes we actually have to make a bit of a guess. And so, you know, we have to choose left or right.
Oh, my intuition.
Okay.
Okay, yep, I made my decision.
All right. So which way are we going?
Left.
Left. All right. Well, when you decide, we'll go.
Yeah, I had left.
So,
left?
Yes. When you decide, we'll go.
Just decided we'll go left.
Okay. So when you decide, when you're ready, we'll go.
Ah, sorry. Right.
Yes! So just stay here for a minute. So that's the thing about making a decision. We can tell people that we've made a decision. Yes, we're going left. Yes, we're going left. Yes, we're going left. And how many times do we hear that? And how many times do you sit on the fence? It's not until you actually take that action and move and make that commitment that you've actually made a decision. So that's the first thing that successful people do. Thank you. They make decisions.